Morning routines can either make or break your life, and creating a perfect, most productive morning routine can be an overwhelming process. So in this video, I'm gonna be trying out the world's hardest morning routine, and if you stay to the end, I'm also gonna help you create a morning routine that's not as hard while being just as productive. But now it's time for the difficult one. Using ChatGPT and other sources, I took actual military morning routines and remade them into more of a self-improvement styled one. The only problem is, it's still hard. Day 1. I woke up at 5 AM and immediately did push-ups to failure. Well, I realized that if I wanted to do this, I needed stakes, so I made this announcement. If I don't make it with this routine for a whole week, I'm officially deleting my YouTube channel. No! And now it's time for the actual day 1 of the morning routine. This time I actually got up at 5 AM and did push-ups to failure. I failed at 16, but I just woke up, so go easy on me. The next thing on my list is a cold shower. The reason why cold showers and push-ups are good as soon as you wake up is not just because you're gonna feel like David Goggins, although who doesn't like that, but they are also sufficient for getting your body temperature up, which is in turn going to spike your cortisol levels and make you feel more wakeful and alert, which is what you need in the morning. And yes, your body does get warmer in a cold shower. It's a physical reaction, as long as the shower isn't too long. Pro tip, make the shower be just cold enough so that you really want to get out, but you know that you can stay in safely, and then be inside for like a few minutes. After getting out, I'll do the basic hygiene. Pro tip, deep throat your toothbrush so that you really clean your tongue. That's how you get rid of the smell. Then I'll make my bed, cause you know, you don't want to be the guy who doesn't make his bed in the morning. I mean, come on, bro. And make sure to drink water in the morning. It's important to hydrate. And now it's time for the fun stuff. Just kidding, it's time for 1 hour of meditation. The hour of meditation was kind of annoying, but it actually went by pretty fast. I almost went crazy like 4 times though. And then finally came time for something fun, which is food. Ideally, you wouldn't want to eat right before working. And spoiler alert, I'm gonna be working soon. Cause digesting food while working is going to make you less productive and more lazy. But I am on a bulk right now, so I really need those breakfast calories. But ideally, you wouldn't want to eat before work. And after breakfast come possibly the most important part of the entire morning routine. No, not work, not yet. The sun exposure. Getting sunlight into your eyes as early in the morning as possible does miracles on you in terms of energy, wakefulness, and your ability to fall asleep later on. It's so important, in fact, that Dr. Andrew Huberman suggests if you miss a day, the next day you need to replace it with double the time. And since I already mentioned time, you need to do about 5 minutes if it's sunny outside, 10 minutes if it's cloudy, and 20 to 30 minutes if it's like really overcast. You can also get a book to read while you're outside, just point it in the direction of the sky like this. After I'm done with the sun exposure, it's finally time for the money making on my non-monetized channel. If you don't have anything to work on, well, what are you doing? It's very good for a man to have something to work on, to have some purpose, to have some business, to have some goal. Now this is obviously different if you have a job already, but if you're at school, then maybe use this time for studying. And that's it from the morning routine. This is pretty hard, but I gotta say it was worth it because...
Wait, what about the rest of the week?
There's more? You know what, I actually feel kind of bad about meditating for so long and leaving no room for God, so I decided to cut down the meditation to 20 minutes and replace it with some prayer and Bible reading. Shout out to my Christians watching this. Start your day with God, you won't regret that. The rest of the morning routine went fine, and I really thought I had this, I'll get to keep my channel, but then this happened.
I can't do this, man.
What you mean?
I can't do this, I'm too tired of going back to sleep.
So you're gonna delete your channel?
I'll just go work at a gas station or something, I don't care.
Come on, we can make this into some corny, cringe motivational story of how you almost gave up.
You're right. We can make this into some current motivational story about how I almost gave up. Let's go through these push-ups.
The next 2 days went much smoother. It all started getting easier and easier, all thanks to the support from you guys and all the other corny stuff that YouTubers usually say. But I wasn't really seeing that much benefits in my life from this routine, and at this point I really started realizing that I could probably make a better morning routine that's easier and more productive. But you're gonna have to watch to the end for that. Day 6. It is day 6 right now, we're getting super close to the end. I'm actually going to the gym early instead of work today because I started that Mike Menzer plan and I'll need to have the gym empty so I can do supersets. But there's gonna be a video on that, stay tuned. And finally, plot twist. For those who don't know, I'm a big supporter of having a rest day. I believe humans were designed to work 6 days a week and rest on the 7th day. And the same should go for everything. So today, Sunday, is gonna be the rest day and the routine is going to look a bit different. First of all, make sure you still wake up at the same time, even on rest days. The sleep schedule is something that should be consistent throughout all days. In fact, if you get 1 hour of sleep more than usual, then scientists say that you will get a 17% decrease in productivity for that day. So do not sleep in on the weekends. We're gonna skip the shower and the push-ups and the hygiene. Just kidding, we're not gonna skip the hygiene, you nasty. I did not actually swear, don't worry, it was a joke. We're going to make the meditation even shorter, and we're going to make the Bible study even longer. It is the Lord's Day after all. After that, we eat, we rest up, and we hit up our local church. Don't forget to get your sun exposure as well. Just because it's a Sunday doesn't mean you get to be a goblin. No work though, rest up. So the week is officially finished and we did it. I get to keep the channel. But I'm not quite satisfied with this. I want to give you more. Benefits I got were not that special. I felt a little bit more wakeful, but that's it really. And it was pretty hard for those benefits. Too much for most people, I would even say. So let me give you a more realistic one that I promised. That is just as productive, if not even more, that you can try the next morning. Wake up somewhere between 5 and 8 a.m. You still have to wake up early, but you don't have to feel the pressure to wake up at 5 just because I am or because Hamza is. When you do wake up, do not jump on your phone. Leave it out of this. Between push-ups and a cold shower, you're probably gonna choose the one that you like more, since either of these is efficient for doing what you need it to do. And you don't even have to do push-ups to failure. You should still do meditation, but in a range from 5 to 20 minutes depending on your level and depending on how much time you have. If you're a beginner, of course, you should start on the lower end, maybe even 3 minutes. If you are a Christian, please don't forget God in the morning. Prayer and reading the Bible should be the non-negotiable everyday activity. And if you're not a Christian, become a Christian. Now, whether you choose to eat breakfast early in the morning depends on whether you're bulking or not and whether you plan to work or not. So I assume you can put 2 and 2 together here and come up with what works for you personally. And if you want coffee in the morning, I would be cautious. I actually have a theory that most people should slow down on the caffeine intake. I stopped drinking coffee and I actually seem to have more energy and I sleep better. And make sure that you get that sun exposure early in the morning, depending on when you wake up, but ideally be outside as soon as the sun is up. And finally, work, if you have any, it's very good done in the morning. It's best if you do the hardest task first. This is called eating the frog. If you do what you really don't want to do the first thing when you wake up, everything else is gonna be easier following that. Now, if you want to do even better in your work, they say the carnivore diet is amazing for productivity. But whether that actually works or not, I don't know. Find out here.